We are following a school shooting in Kentucky where at least one person is dead and 7 others are injured. This happened in western Kentucky at Marshall County High School, about 170 miles west of Louisville. The FBI is now helping police investigate. WKYX radio reporter Joe Jackson has been covering the story, and he joins us now on the telephone. Joe, what is the latest? What can you tell us?
Well, right now we're waiting for official word. We're waiting for a press conference that's supposed to happen in the next hour or so. We're assembled here at the Marshall County School Board office waiting to get official word from state police and school officials. We've been here for several hours since the shooting happened, trying to collect as much information as we can. But right now we're just waiting on official word from state police, which should come at this press conference.
Joe, have authorities given you any indication as to whether or not the victims are students, faculty, or something else?
No official word, just from what I've been told with people here at the scene, people that were there, students that were there. I've been told that those that were injured are students.
One of the things that we've been interested to learn and to share with our viewers, Joe, is just what kind of a community is the area. How big is the school? We don't have any of those details. Perhaps you can flesh it out for us.
It's a very close community. Marshall County High School has about 1,400 students in it. I actually have children in this school system. My son graduated here last year. His girlfriend was here today when the shooting happened. This is about 25 miles away from Heath High School, where the shooting took place 25 years ago. So this area is very familiar with this type of event, sadly, and a lot of memories are being dredged up today here at Marshall County.
You mentioned that your son's girlfriend was at the school when the shooting happened. We had seen some reports that suggested the school was on lockdown. Do you know what was happening at the school when this shooting was taking place?
School had not started yet, from what we understand. It was about 10 minutes until 8 Central Time. So kids were just getting there. They were assembled in what's called the Commons area close to the office when the student came in and began firing. From what I was told from witnesses, again, unconfirmed so far, they heard a pop, didn't think anything of it because people are always dropping books or making noise in the Commons area before school. Then they heard another pop. People started screaming and running and getting down on the floor. And then, of course, it was chaotic as people were getting pushed down trying to get out. Some of the students I talked to said that after about the second shot, they got up and ran out of the building across the parking lot into some woods as far away as they could from the shooting. They didn't even know at that time what was really going on, but they knew it was something bad.
It's so horrifying when you hear the details like that, Joe. And we understand from police that the students right now have been moved to another location, or are they still in the school? What are you learning about that?
Yeah, I would say about an hour and a half ago, they brought buses in and took the rest of the kids that were inside and bused them to a nearby middle school. There are counselors on scene, of course, trying to help those who witnessed this. Parents, of course, were very concerned when they got here this morning and could not get to the school. The police on scene would not let them get close. So that's what's going on right now. Parents are getting reunited with their kids and loved ones and trying to make sure they're okay. But they've been bused to other schools locally.
The building looks huge. We're looking at sort of aerial pictures of the school building, and it looks just massive. I don't know how familiar you are with the layout, seeing as your son went there, but to get to the common area, would you have to walk through the hallways, past the administrative offices? Are there any security measures at this school?
I'm probably not the right person to answer that. I know they have security measures in place after school is in session. When I've gone up to the school, you have to get buzzed in. You wait outside for them to look at you and talk to you, and then open the door. But when school is not in session, before it starts, kids are coming in, parents are dropping off kids, buses are dropping off kids, and I don't know where the shooter was. I don't know what entrance he came from, but the office is right there, centrally located by the Commons area. It's called the Commons area because you can come out of several hallways and meet there. It's close to the library. It's close to the cafeteria. It's close to the gym. It's where a lot of the kids assemble before school, during break, after school, that kind of stuff.
Joe, you mentioned earlier that this is reminiscent of a shooting that happened a couple of decades ago. Is that the shooting at Heath High School in Paducah that you were referencing?
Paducah, yeah.
Paducah, my apologies.
We're about 25, 30 minutes away from that shooting. And Heath High School has been consolidated since then into a larger school in McCracken County, but that school is still there. And matter of fact, in December they had a remembrance ceremony for the 25th anniversary. So, yeah, we're not too far away, and I was there that day. I'm here today. It's very, very similar.
So my question was going to be to you, in the wake of that shooting, and as you pointed out, I'm just reading online here about it, that there was a remembrance, sort of a memorial held back in December to celebrate the lives lost there. This was apparently a suspect who opened fire on a morning prayer group back then. What changes have been implemented as far as security measures are concerned in Kentucky in the wake of that shooting?
You know, each school has its own safety and security measures. Obviously, I think since that happened, it's more difficult to get in school if you're not a student or a staff member. But if you're a student and you're just coming into school, I mean, I think it's pretty easy access. They're not expecting anything like this to happen, of course. The good news was it did happen so close to the office that they were able to get police here very quickly. They were able to get EMS here quickly and start working on those that were injured. It happened to where that there was so quick response that they may have saved some lives from those that were shot, you know, earlier today. If it would have happened in a classroom, it may not have been that way.
And Joe, do the students attending that school, do they sort of come, I mean, as Anne-Marie points out in the pictures we're looking at, the school does look large, a very big campus. Are they serving kids from sort of all over the community? How wide is sort of the demographic of the students who'd be attending the school? It's
a very large county. This school was consolidated several years ago, consolidated several schools in the county. We're kind of spread out here. But this is centrally located. We're in a small town called Draffinville, Kentucky, and it's like a large student population here. And then there are several other schools, you know, surrounding it, middle schools and elementary schools. It's a large county, one of the largest counties in the state.
So I know you're waiting for law enforcement officers to have some sort of a press conference. Do we know what the situation is in terms of the investigation? What's going on now?
We don't know. The suspect was taken into custody soon after the shooting. We were told a Marshall County Sheriff's deputy was the one that took the shooting suspect into custody. We're not sure what's going on other than that. We were told 7 injured. They have all been taken to hospitals, either here locally or regionally to out-of-state hospitals to be treated. And the FBI is here, from what we understand, working with state police, just trying to figure out what caused this, what led to it. But, you know, the worst of it probably has not even started because the grieving process and all the counseling, and I mean, we're up here talking to parents and staff members who are just in total shock and can hardly speak. So it's going to be a while before people get over this.
Yeah, you know, it's something that all too often, sadly, in this country, we're seeing time and time again, and the grieving process is going to be painful and difficult. I just want to ask Joe, when we say high school, for example, my high school had 8th graders in it. Is this just 9th through 12th grade, or are there some perhaps even younger students that attended, other younger grades, I should say?
It is just 9th grade through 12th grade. The middle schools are 6th, 7th, and 8th grade here, so they were located somewhere else. I actually have an 8th grader that was, you know, at a school just down the road. So these are just high school students, 9th through 12th.
And I know that when things like this happen, other schools in the area go into lockdown. Are the children from, for example, where your child goes to school, the 8th graders, the 7th graders, the junior high kids, and even the elementary school kids, have you heard, have they gone home? Or are they still in school? What's going on at those schools?
They are still in session right now. I'm not sure if they're going to release at the normal time. I think at some point this morning they were on lockdown for a while, but after they took the shooter in custody and secured the scene, I think they are back in, you know, normal operations, and I assume they will let out at normal time this afternoon. Now, The middle school that has, collected all these students from the high school is, jam-packed with extra people right now. So I'm sure it's pretty chaotic there with parents and students and school personnel trying to sort that out. So, but as far as I know, everybody's going to get out at the normal time.
You mentioned just how in shock faculty members are. Obviously, no one ever expects anything like this, but the area seems like it's dotted with small towns and sort of just not the expectation of violence at a school.
No, it's not. This is a recreational area. We're located in an area called Land Between the Lakes, where a lot of people vacation and come here to fish and swim and boat and have a good time. This is not a town or a county that's known for a lot of violence or crime. So this kind of thing is very shocking. I don't know how many times I've watched your channel and heard people say, I never thought it would happen here. I never thought I would say it, but that's exactly what you're feeling this morning. I can't believe it's happened here, but it has. And I talked to one of the school nurses a moment ago, and she had just been moved to the high school a few weeks ago. She said, I never thought I would have to give CPR. She said, I take all the training. I knew I needed to learn it, but I never thought I would have to do it. And she said it just kicked in today. And so she was in shock, but she said she was glad she was there.
And as you point out, Joe, this is something that has happened before in Kentucky. It's happened all across America, even for us. You, as a reporter covering these types of stories, it never changes or diminishes the heartbreak that you witness, that you report on, and the horror that parents have when they understand the school that their child is attending has come under attack. The apprehension as you try to wonder if your child is one of the victims. And I should just point out for our viewers that several politicians have been tweeting out in support of the community. And I just noticed a tweet from the Speaker of the House, Mitch McConnell, closely tracking reports of the tragedy in Benton, Kentucky at Marshall County High School. And my thoughts are with the students, teachers, faculty, and the entire community. Thank you to the first responders who continue to put themselves in harm's way to protect others. Similar sentiments we've seen from the governor as well as representatives.
Yeah, it's something that, we're seeing a lot of support just from area high schools. A lot of support, a lot of prayer services being held already. McCracken County Schools, as we said, that was part of the school shooting at Heath. They had a special prayer service this morning at their school because they've gone through this. They know what's going on. So we've got a lot of support here, and it's going to be tough, obviously, for a while here. But this is a close-knit community. This is a great place to raise a family. A lot of faith in this community, and they're going to get through it, and something positive will come out of it.
And our thoughts and prayers are with you, with the community, with the families there. This is horrific, and we hate to have to report this, but we're certainly praying and rooting for everyone there. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
So we mentioned that officials will be holding a press conference to give us an update. When that occurs, we're going to bring that to you live. We have live cameras right there just waiting for that update. In the meantime, though, we're going to take a quick break. You are streaming CBSN. We are always on.